Governor Bello Matawale appoints 3 permanent secretaries and principal private secretary to the governor. NCDC reports 193 new cases of coronavirus, totaling 5,162. Buhari met with service chiefs, assured Nigerians of safety. On business, 338.94 billion naira earned from VAT in first quarter. And on the international scene, Burundi expelled top WHO team in COVID-19 crisis. Welcome to Standard Post Television News. My name is Samia Ibrahim. Now the news in full. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawale Maradon has approved the appointment of 3 officers as new permanent secretaries. They are Garba Ahmad Gusau, Abubakar Jafar Maradon, and Bala Umar Tsafi. The governor also approved the appointment of Lawal Umar Maradon as principal private secretary to the governor PPS. Before his appointment as permanent secretary, Garba Ahmad Gusau served as the director of finance, Zamfara State Hajj Commission and Zamfara State Primary Education Board. Alhaji Abubakar Jafar Maradon, before his appointment as permanent secretary, was the principal private secretary to the governor PPS. Similarly, Bala Umar Tsafi, before his appointment, was liaison officer, Abuja Liaison Office, former secretary Zamfara State Local Government Service Commission, and his last position is the secretary Zamfara State Rural Water Agency. The new principal private secretary to the governor Lawal Umar Maradon worked with the Abdu Gusau Polytechnic Talata Mafara as senior lecturer, Department of Mass Communication, where he served as head of Department Mass Communication, and later appointed as journalist and media relations specialist, Trimming Project, a World Bank project under the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. No fewer than 18 victims of coronavirus were being discharged from Damba Isolation Center. They were certified free from the pandemic by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC. This was disclosed by the State Chairman Task Force on COVID-19, who is also the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Nasiru Ma'azu Magaria, shortly after he received the NCDC certification on the said victims. The State Task Force Chair said that with this development, the health coronavirus victims were released from Damba Isolation Center by 8 a.m. on Thursday morning and be reunited with their families. With the discharge of this number of COVID-19 victims, the number of active people dropped from 73 to 55, while the state had recorded 5 deaths already, and further warned the general public from showing any discriminatory tendency against the victims, stressing that decisive measures will be taken by the government against anybody found discriminating on the discharged victims. The statement added that the task force chair urged the good people of the state to continue showing understanding and cooperation with the state government's giant effort in combating the deadly disease in the state. The Sokoto State Commissioner for Health and Chairman of the State Task Force on COVID-19, Dr. Muhammad Ali Innemi, announced that 22 additional COVID-19 patients have been discharged from isolation center in Sokoto. The commissioner, who gave this indication while briefing newsmen in Sokoto, said the 22 were discharged after they were certified as healthy and free from the virus, sequel to another round of tests conducted on them. He added that with this development, a total of 41 former COVID-19 patients have so far been discharged after recovering from the dreaded infection. Dr. Muhammad Ali Innemi further remarked that the state COVID-19 index case stood at 106, adding that the confirmation followed a test conducted on over 500 suspected cases. The chairman assured the public that contracting the COVID-19 is not a death sentence, as majority of those infected got recovered after treatment at 2 of the state isolation centers. Governor Ganduje launches female-only isolation center in the state. Understanding major reasons behind agitations by COVID-19 patients across isolation centers in the country, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State has proposed better strategy to help put that outcry to rest. He made the observation during inspection and put to use of Daula Female Isolation Center, Nasarawa local government area of Kano State, where he notified that everything there was ready for operation All staff that are supposed to work here have already been posted. Calling the attention of staff there, he warned that they don't want to hear any complaints from any patients. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has confirmed 193 coronavirus cases in the country, bringing the total number of cases to 5,162. The agency made this known in the tweet, saying that Lagos State has the highest number of cases with 58 infections recorded. Kano is next with 46, Jigawa 35, Yobe 12, FCT 9, Ogun 7, Plateau and Gombe 5 each, Imo State 4, while Edo, Kwara and Borno all have 3 cases each. Bauchi, Nasarawa and Ondo have a case each. The number of discharged cases according to the NCDC stands at 1,180, while the death figure is 167. The Presidential Task Force (PTF) on the novel coronavirus pandemic COVID-19 has warned the public to stay away from quarantined returnees from foreign countries. Secretary to the Government of the Federation (SGF) and Chairman of the PTF, Mr. Boss Mustafa, who gave the warning on Thursday during the daily press briefing by the task force in Abuja, warned that such visits were potentially dangerous to public health. The SGF lamented reports and viral videos depicting unsafe practices around the quarantine locations of those evacuated from the United Arab Emirates (UAE), United Kingdom (UK), and the United States of America (USA). Those being quarantined to decline visit from their friends and loved ones for the period they will be in observation, noting that the disease for which they were being kept away had a high contagious nature. Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has called on the National Assembly to step down the proposed Control of Infectious Disease Bill 2020 before it until appropriate consultation is made. Governor Fayemi stated this after the 8th teleconference meeting with his colleagues. The governors raised concern with the lack of consultation with state governments who are at the forefront of the pandemic and established a committee comprising the governors of Katsina, Sokoto and Plateau to lead a consultative meeting with the leadership of the National Assembly on the proposed bill. Worried by the increasing number of cases in the country, governors pledged to increase the availability of isolation beds to at least 300 per state and accelerate the procurement of additional personal protective equipment, PPE, and train health workers in the state to contain the spread of the virus. After an update from Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State on the operation of the World Bank State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Project to mitigate the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, governors agreed to take additional measures to strengthen their public financial management systems, including a revision of their 2020 budget and the amendment of state procurement guidelines to support e-procurement and the participation of small and medium-sized enterprises in the states. Meanwhile, the Senate has reacted to the call by governors on the National Assembly to suspend its consideration of the Control of Infectious Disease Bill 2020. Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Ajibola Basiru, in a message on his verified Twitter handle, said the governors have not formally communicated their request to the upper chamber. He said he personally thinks the governors may engage their respective senators on their concerns about the bill, who will then take it up on the floor of the Senate during the second reading of the bill. Recall that there has been a widespread uproar about the consideration of the bill by both chambers of the National Assembly. The Control of Infectious Diseases Bill 2020, sponsored by the Speaker, Femi Bajabiamila, has since passed both first and second reading in the House of Representatives. A similar bill titled National Health Emergency Bill, sponsored by the Chairman, Senate Committee on Communicable Diseases and Primary Health Care, Senator Chukwuka Utazi, Enugu North, has also secured first reading in the Senate. President Muhammadu Buhari presided over a meeting with the service chiefs in Abuja on May 14, 2020. President Muhammadu Buhari has assured citizens in the country of his commitment to securing the lives and property of all. He gave the assurance at the National Security Council meeting held on Thursday at the Council Chamber of the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the nation's capital. The National Security Advisor, Babagana Mungono, revealed the President's position while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the meeting. He said he believed the Council, along with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, on the security situation and the coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak in the country. The meeting had in attendance the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, head of various security agencies, and some ministers. They include the Minister of Defense, retired Major General Bashir Magashi, Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, among others. Also present were the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, the Chief of Naval Staff, Ibok Ewe Ibas, and Army's Chief of Policy and Plans, Lieutenant General Lamidi Adesun. Others included the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Mohammed Adamu, the Director General of the Department of State Service, DSS, Mr. Yusuf Bichi. Over 33 Boko Haram targets have been attacked by the air component of Operation Lafia Dole, with about 1,700 flight hours recorded in the past 4 months, the Nigerian Air Force NAF has said. It said defeats were recorded in 889 air interdiction AI, intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance IRS, battle damage assessment BDA, close air support, as well as tactical airlift missions executed in 1,075 sorties, with about 1.6 million liters of Jet A1 fuel used from January 1st to date. The NAF's Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commando Ebikulle Daramola, stated this while briefing newsmen. According to Daramola, the achievements were recorded in line with sustained efforts towards eliminating remnants of Boko Haram terrorists and other terrorist groups in the northeast. A federal high court in Asaba has awarded 10 million naira in damages against the Department of State Services for illegally detaining a trader, Attorney Okoli, for 10 weeks without charges. Mr. Justice Namdi Dimba, however, struck out the prayer requesting the President Dr. Hanan Buhari and telecoms company MTN to pay 500 million naira. Justice Dimba delivered his judgment on Thursday. The trader Okoli had sued the President's daughter, DSS and MTN, for his 10 weeks detention after purchasing a SIM card previously owned by Hanan. In a suit filed on his behalf by human rights lawyer Tope Akinyode, the applicant sued all parties for 500 million naira jointly and individually. The suit sought an order to compel the respondents, DSS, Hanan and MTN, jointly or separately to pay Mr. Okoli the sum of 500 million naira only as general and aggravated damages for the gross and unlawful violation of the applicant's right to acquire movable properties, freedom of movement, and self-dignity. 33-year-old Okoli said in a supporting affidavit that he was arrested on July 19, 2019 in Asaba, Delta State, for using a telephone line that was previously owned by Hanan Buhari. On business, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) on Thursday announced that the total value-added tax (VAT) that was generated in the first quarter Q1 of 2020 was 338.94 billion naira. According to the executive summary of the report posted on its website, NBS said the sectorial distribution of VAT data for Q1 2020 indicated that 338.94 billion naira was generated in Q1 2020 as against 308.49 billion naira generated in Q4 2019 and 294.4 billion naira generated in Q1 2019. The report noted that the VAT generation showed an increase of 9.87% in quarter-on-quarter and 15.66% increase year-on-year. It explained that professional services generated the highest amount of VAT with 38.30 billion naira and closely followed by manufacturing with 37.37 billion naira. The report also revealed that commercial and trading generated 17.19 billion naira, while mining generated the least, closely followed by textile and the garment industry. NBS said out of the total amount generated in Q1 2020, 172.69 billion naira was generated as non-import VAT locally, while 93.67 billion naira was generated as non-import VAT for foreign. The balance of 72.59 billion naira, according to the report, was generated as Nigerian Customs Service import. VAT. The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) seized 1,553 various smuggled items valued at 17.6 billion naira in the first quarter Q1 of 2020 across all its commands. This was made known in a report obtained by News Agency of Nigeria from the Customs Public Relations Officer Joseph Atta in Abuja yesterday. And on the international scene, the Foreign Ministry, in a letter to WHO Africa headquarters and sent by AFP on Wednesday, said the UN agency's representative in Burundi and his 3 colleagues are declared persona grata and as such must leave the territory of Burundi by Friday. The directive dated May 12 expels WHO's top official in Burundi, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulumbu, the country's coronavirus coordinator, Dr. Jean Pierre Mulunda Nkata, communicable diseases head, Dr. Rohana Murindi Bisimwa, and a laboratory expert in the testing for coronavirus COVID-19, Professor Daniel Tazi. Late yesterday afternoon, the decision of the government of Burundi was made known, which asked the WHO representative and 3 other persons, one of whom is a consultant, to leave the country immediately. WHO Africa Director Dr. Masindi Muti told journalists on Thursday. He said they are in communication with the government of Burundi to clarify and understand the reasoning behind this decision they have already taken. That has been the news from Standard First Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Bello Matawalle appoints 3 permanent secretaries and principal private secretary to the governor. NCDC reports 193 new cases of coronavirus, totaling 5,162. Buhari met with service chiefs, assured Nigerians of safety. On business, 338.94 billion naira earned from VAT in first quarter. And on the international scene, Burundi expelled top WHO team in COVID-19 crisis. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatuna, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard West Television News. Goodbye.